So I think the best way to start my experience is start from the beginning. Like after my PhD, when I decided that I don't want to go towards academia, which most of us um, at the current scenario feel, um, I started like the usual process of just applying for the roles. Like if I saw a role, send my CV. Maybe in some cases I would contact the hiring manager, but there was no like a very consistent format of how to do this, and there was no particular guideline. So that was all of that was quite a roadblock, and I just faced more or less a lot of rejections, even though there were positions that were very much aligned to what I could have brought in. So I think in that time when I was not really like I was facing so much a problem and I wasn't really sure, I found you when I started working with you to understand what were the issues or like how to go about this application process. And I think that the whole journey for me has been very eye-opening, particularly like the whole understanding of how networking plays a huge role. So this sort of process, while it's very time consuming and also for me particularly exhausting, it's also something that turned out to be fruitful because that's how I ended up getting a few offers. So overall, this is something I would recommend to anyone who's struggling in a similar position. I mean, not just for people who are doing a PhD, but anyone who is, to learn how to actually leverage LinkedIn, how to leverage or how to learn how to communicate with people, how to connect with the right kind of people, and even trying to figure out what role works for you, because that was also an aspect that I was struggling to understand. I'm very well aware of a lot of people who have not negotiated the salaries, which they should have. But I mean, I out of sheer desperation or distress would have also maybe done the same. But I mean, if you weren't there, then I mean, because you were there, I could negotiate the salary and actually get it increased by what, almost 10%?
20%.
20%. So that's a very big hike, right?
Yeah.
So this is something I've learned from you.
Yeah, most importantly, I think you're going to be doing it now, moving on every time, because now you know how to do it.
Yes. I mean, it's going to be every time it's going to be a different scenario, but at least that like the first time I did it gave me that kind of confidence to move forward and do it again.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I am more confident about at least like if the next time I want to look for another job, I at least know now what steps I have to implement. So I'm more confident about the process, and I realize how important it is to, continue connecting with people. It is exhausting for anyone who's listening, that it's not a very straightforward process. It is very exhausting and it's very time consuming, but it's once you do it and once you have like that one offer, everything gets like is worth it. And I'm definitely like more confident that with not just what I've learned from you, but also what I've implemented afterwards, that I will be able to move on and get much better offers in future. But I think this is very personal, person to person, like the choice to make between academia and industry. For myself, I don't particularly see myself inclined towards the academic process, especially with the way it's currently set up. And I think like I would be more inclined to, continue in the industry, move into different roles, maybe switch over to potentially other kinds of more maybe managerial roles, or go towards more data science roles, because that's what my background is on. So that is what I would aim for. But I still want to be connected to my biological side, and that's more towards like working with pharmaceutical companies and medical oriented companies, which is what I'm currently doing now and what I intend to do in future. So I think I will limit myself to in the industry, but maybe look for other roles as well and explore what options I can move from where I am currently. That is what I'm planning, or that's what I see in the next 5 years.